Welcome friends. In this video we will discuss periodogram method, which is estimation of autocorrelation and power spectrum of random signal. In the last video we have seen that power density spectrum for random stationary random process can be calculated by using autocorrelation. So it is actually first method which has to be used to find the power density spectrum of random process. So stationary random process do not have finite energy. We know that, hence do not possess a Fourier transform. We have discussed this form term in the previous video also. These signals have finite average power, so we need power density spectrum. Let xt is a stationary random process. We have taken xt now, and autocorrelation we will calculate autocorrelation xt plus tau in the expectation. It is autocorrelation function, and find the Fourier transform using this formula. Find the Fourier transform, and we use always this E when expectation is used. We call it statistical average. Okay. So by the Wiener-Khinchin theorem, it says that the Fourier transform of autocorrelation function is power density spectrum of stationary random process. The Wiener-Khinchin theorem says that. So we can find the Fourier transform. It is easier. Now time average. There are two type of average in random signal process, random signal theory. That first is statistical average and second is time average. Then time average autocorrelation function for time interval minus tau minus t naught to t naught. If I have two time intervals and finding the autocorrelation function in that time period and doing the average of by dividing the total time interval, then it is known as time average autocorrelation function. It is minus t naught by t naught to t naught, and this is autocorrelation. Whereas in expectation, if you remember, it is minus infinite to infinite. Using x into PDF, that is in average we use x into that xt into PDF. Okay, so that is the function we use power PDF function for finding the expectation in statistical average, but whereas it is simple in time average. We use simply observation interval and dividing the observation interval. So a new definition comes: ergodic process, ergodic random process. A stationary random process is ergodic in the first moment, that's mean is also called first moment, and in the second moment, that is autocorrelation. Then what is the condition of ergodicity? Then statistical mean to be equal to time average mean, and time average is always automatically mean. Statistical correlation is equal to time average correlation. That these two autocorrelation must be same. These two autocorrelation must be same. If these two autocorrelation must be same and mean is same in both the process, statistical mean is the mean for the whole process minus infinite to infinite. Time average is the mean for the particular time window. So it is same, then we can that it is a ergodic random process. So it is a special case of stationary random process. All stationary process cannot be ergodic, but all ergodic process are stationary random process. So this is the definition, that when time interval reaches to infinite, for that time average autocorrelation function, that it should be equal to that of statistical correlation, because by proper definition it is to be calculated for minus infinite to infinite, and it is to be calculated for minus t naught to t naught. When we put the limits, then it should equal to this one for ergodic process. So it is the putting the value of rx tau and x, this is the value. So for ergodic random process, time average autocorrelation can be used as estimate of statistical correlation function, because they are almost same, they are identical. So if the process is ergodic, we use the time average because it is easier to calculate a time average autocorrelation function of any signal instead of statistical autocorrelation function. For the time average autocorrelation function can provide estimate of power density, because if time average can find the statistical autocorrelation function, and statistical autocorrelation function can be used to find the statistical autocorrelation function can be used to find the Fourier transform, and this is what power density spectrum. So all are related. So we are using this method that we will calculate first this one. We put the limits to infinite and then use this. Okay, for ergodic random process only. So not to confuse. So that's why this diagram is made. A random process has two types: stationary or non-stationary. In stationary random process, we know that these are the gamma xx tau and gamma xx f are Fourier transform pair. Now stationary random process are further of the two types: ergodic random process and non-ergodic random process. In ergodic random process, that statistical correlation function, statistical autocorrelation, should be equal to almost equal to time average autocorrelation, almost. So it can depend in on this value, and we if we have this time average, we can have this Fourier transform Pxxf. So definitely, if this quantity is dependent upon this, so its Fourier transform also dependent upon this. So by the same identical relationship, we can have the power density spectrum of that random process. We use this term, it is statistical, it is time average. It is time average, it is statistical or true. We call it true because it is the true of this for a transform pair of this one. So we are using this method. Here again it is given that time average estimates the statistical autocorrelation estimates the time average, which is having the Fourier transform Pxxf. And if we see that this Fourier transform can estimate the true autocorrelation function for transform autocorrelation function, and this is nothing but the power density spectrum. Okay, so we are aim is to find this one, and now its limit is minus infinite to infinite. Its limit is minus t naught to t naught, which has to be extended obviously. So it is the method. It is the method that Pxxf. What is Pxxf? Is the Fourier transform of Rxx tau. Okay, that is for time average minus t naught to t naught. Okay, and for Rxx tau we can put the value. We have put the value for Rxx tau. We will solve a little bit. Pxxf is equal to 1 upon t naught, and we have break this the previous we have break this integration in two parts. You can see that we have break 1 upon t naught taken out, two integration, two values and one exponent. We will break this exponent also. We can break this exponent by putting t plus tau. T plus tau is equal to some new variable v, and then tau equal to v minus tau, and we have that is a mathematical process, you know very well. Further, we can use this tau will be v minus t, so it will be written as here, xv is written as here, and limits are also changed. So 1 upon t naught. Further, we have two functions. We are going to make a two functions basically. Now this exponent can be break in two parts, fv and f minus t, and this minus t becomes plus t, and it goes here. Okay, so now we have two different integrals, and look at that integrals. It is the pure Fourier transform, and it is the Fourier transform of a complex conjugate of signal. In complex conjugate, we have that plus sign because j becomes minus j for complex conjugate quantities. Okay, and it is a pure Fourier transform. So for this Fourier transform, we have xj to 2 pi f or xf directly, and for this we have to change j to minus j because it is complex conjugate. So x minus j 2 pi f for this Fourier transform. Both are Fourier transform obviously. Now by the autocorrelation function, we know that autocorrelation function when we use or Fourier transform by the Fourier transform property, Magnitude of both the terms are same, obviously. Magnitude of both the terms are same. Okay, so we can write it like this: 1 upon t naught x j 2 pi f and square. And putting the value of x j 2 pi f, this is the x j 2 pi f, that is Fourier transform of xt, Fourier transform of xt, and we have written this one. Okay, so it is the pxxf is the Fourier transform of you can see like from here Rxx top. Okay, Fourier transform of time average autocorrelation function. This is the standard method, so that you can remind it always. Now we have to find the gamma xxf actually. So actual or true power density spectrum of stationary RNA processes gamma xxf, and we can find this by using pxxf. Finding is statistical average, because we have to find the statistical term, so we have to do the statistical average, and putting limits t naught tends to infinite for the whole interval minus infinite to infinite. So this is what expected value of pxxf, and after finding this value, this is the achieved power density spectrum, and this method is known as periodogram method. Okay, so in periodogram method, summarizing what we have done this method. We use this statistical true autocorrelation or statistical autocorrelation, estimated this for ergodic random process. So periodogram method is used for ergodic random process, and then we do the Fourier transform of this one, and then we find the estimate of true power density spectrum using this time average version by limiting. Okay. So that's all for this time, and in the next video, we will estimate power density spectrum for discrete case. It is for the continuous case. In the next video, we will discuss power density spectrum for the discrete case or samples. Okay, thank you very much.